sports, and we've got two teams who have both brought Baltimore a Super Bowl. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. Next on Madden Football.
From the crossroads of America, we're at the center of Indianapolis, Indiana, as we get a look here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Matt Gay now ready to get this one started. And here we go from Indy. Deontay Hardy to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. So the Ravens offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by someone who is the modern example of an elite running quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
A decade plus before Lamar, it was a guy named Michael Vick who was the standard for dual-threat quarterbacks. Well, today, that standard is Lamar Jackson, who at his best is an MVP-caliber player and the most exciting player, not just at his position, but in all of football. And don't let that running overshadow the strides he's made as a passer, too, in the pocket and as a franchise quarterback to build upon.
They'll start this series with an option left. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to first down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
They're going to try to pick it up with an option left. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
The Ravens going to punt this away, and here's Jordan Stout to handle that boot. And this one is away, and he got all of it and then some. And this one did hit at the 8, but took a big bounce and finished its journey in the end zone for a touchback. So now the Colts getting their first opportunity on offense in this game. Bringing them out to 4th overall pick in 2023 out of Florida, a super athlete at quarterback, Anthony Richardson.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that when Anthony Richardson came out of the draft out of Florida, he was the greatest all-around athlete we'd ever seen at quarterback. 240 pounds, running 4.4, jumping 40 inches. He was the envy of defensive ends and linebackers that couldn't put up those numbers. Now, it's taken all those athletic traits and squeezing them into the quarterback position, maximizing all that physical talent to become the superstar he can be.
Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the first down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
All set up now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Taylor. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. They go again with Taylor. Into the secondary past the 40. And finally stopped at the 34. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
Good opening drive to this point. They've got another 1st down at the 34. Shotgun snap now to Richardson. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. They manage 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, well, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. This one's caught. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once. I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
2nd down carry for Taylor. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. Taylor scores. Touchdown, Indy. The Colts have a great first drive and get the game's first points. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Colts will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Lucas Oil Stadium after this. Back at beginning of the second quarter, Ravens in possession. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. Brushes him off with ease. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Kate, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
First down, and they go right back to him. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even rip through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. Pass into the hands of Mark Andrews. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. They motion the slot man right. First down, here's Lamar. Finds his man, it's Rashad Bateman. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. Second and 3 now. They send Aguilar in motion left. This is Henry on second. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop him behind the line.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make third down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this third down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Slot man motioned over. Jackson now on third. He has the first over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You throw it in the middle of the field, it's all about anticipation and accuracy. I mean, those are the two keys all the time in my book, Kate. But when you throw it in the middle of the field with all of the traffic, that's where guys with great anticipation and that tremendous accuracy come to life.
They put a receiver in motion here left. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. Nothing for him on that play as we've hit the 2-minute warning. They'll try again from the 4. It's 2nd and goal. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Flushed out of the pocket. And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Ravens earn the chance to tie it before halftime. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Tucker adds the PAT. And the Ravens tie this game 7-7. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Josh Downs to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Colts have running back Jonathan Taylor headed out with the rest of the offense. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Colts operating from the hurry-up, rushing back to the line. Throwing from the pistol, Richardson. Pittman's got it. Pickup of a few as he heads out of bounds.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
Second and 8. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Pretty even match in this first half, and you're just kind of waiting, right? You just kind of try to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life. And when you get that sack, that could go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Ravens bring an extra DB out there. 3rd down coming up. A give left side to Taylor. Breaks across midfield, hits the opposing territory. And he's finally marked down at the 46-yard line. They have themselves another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. Chased out to his right. Now he takes it. Give him 30 yards on that one. And it's good for an Indianapolis 1st down.
That's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a 1st down, that's a big bonus for the quarterback.
1st down from the red zone. This throw is caught. And this is down all the way to the 3. Timeout Indianapolis, that's its 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Taylor will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4. The Colts take a timeout. That's their last one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Backed up to the 4-yard line now. It's 2nd and goal. Richardson back to throw. And he has the Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts take the lead just before halftime. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
Gay to add the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Colts break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. We're to the halfway point from Indianapolis with the Colts out in front at the break. Now it's down to Florida, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw former rushing champ Jonathan Taylor be a big-time factor in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Downs on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. Out come the Colts as they've got it to begin the second half. And we'll see if the perfect start can continue as they try for their 3rd touchdown in 3 drives. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Putting the tight end in motion. Taylor gets it to begin the drive. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 29. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. When we look back at this one, Brock, it is going to be defensive highlight after defensive highlight. And there again, the examples, they just keep coming.
The physical play has been the trademark. Really, from the first snap through this second half, there have not been many just uncontested, clean, efficient plays. Every effort's been answered, and that's why that scoreboard's not been lit up.
The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him, calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, here's Richardson. That's complete to Pittman. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Shotgun, handoff to Taylor. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
I don't know, Kate. I didn't think he had it, but that back did. He knew exactly where he had to get for the first down. Pops up right away and signals first down.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Taylor again. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Trying an option play, headed left. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down.
Not that he needed to, but he'll always try and remind people that he's a threat running it, in addition to slinging it all over the field.
And the Ravens go in nickel, 3rd down. Taylor now up the middle. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Option give to Taylor. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be 2nd down.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Straight ahead with Taylor. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
3rd and short yardage here, Richardson. Complete beyond the marker. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And it'll be first down, Colts.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. From the red zone now. On target to his man Taylor. Is in for the Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts grow the lead coming out of halftime. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Gay to add the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Colts double their lead to 14. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Now Baltimore returning its offense to the field of play. And what's really been simply stunning, Brock, is how far we've made it into the game, and their passing game, it is still grounded.
Yeah, so as they're sitting here losing right now, what I hear you saying, Kate, is it's time for this offense to take flight?
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Third quarter starts with a run from Henry. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Just 1 quarter remaining in this one. It's the Ravens' ball. They come in trailing, but that lead is within reach. Second and 3 now. From the 36. Finds Aguilar. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. And that play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Lamar now from the gun. He's on the move. He keeps it and takes off. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a 31-yard play, and that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
From the gun, a run for Henry. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
I know they say it any time he comes up in an interview, but they appreciate having him on this defense so much, Kate, because of plays like that one. Those are great instincts. It takes instincts and want to come up and run support, and not many corners can make that stop.
Second and 13. Gets this to Bateman. And that will not be enough for a 1st down. Working quickly here. Now Jackson on 3rd down. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Baltimore! The Ravens now within 1 score in the 4th. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Tucker on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Ravens chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a 1-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Downs on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. The Colts and Anthony Richardson headed back onto the field. And his effectiveness hasn't been limited to what he can do with his arm this season. On that last drive, he reached a significant mark for his efforts on the ground as well. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Richardson. Finds a seam down the middle. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. That one goes for 31 yards and a 1st down when all is said and done.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. On 1st down, it's Richardson. Short pass brought in. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Indy. Colts leading by 7. 2nd and 6 coming up here. This is Taylor. And a little space is all he needed to reach that 35-yard line. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. Third down, 1 yard to go. He'll throw it. This is reeled in by Pittman. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Taylor trying the left side. He's out in the clear. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
2nd down, probably going to see him kneel it again here. Here's a handoff for Taylor. And he pushes them a little closer to the 3. Just a couple on that play. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive. Try to stick them with the loss and make a difficult 4th down decision.
They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Matt Gay now in a high-pressure spot. This just 21 yards down the pipe. Up and good from Fairbairn. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game. So the Colts pick up the win in this one. And Brock, we all know home field advantage can do wonders to bridge the gap between the uber-talented teams and the lesser-regarded groups in this league. They were the latter this week, but in the friendly confines with the crowd at their back, they were the team who looked superior in this one. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indy.